Hello friends, welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to Clash of Code with viewers. We are going to do some competitive programming with you, the people watching. Welcome to the show. There is currently a bug in my backend where every message gets sent twice. So we have the double drop game today. Yeah, double drop, but it's everywhere, and I don't have the time to figure it out because my messages over here are appearing up twice. Oh man. Surprisingly, this chat overlay is doing fine, but I don't really want to take the time to debug it. I want to play some Clash of Code. So, get your drops in. We're gonna let the drops happen. 2 drops for the price of 1. A special on Coding Garden today, says Doc. So yeah, get your drops in, and then we'll get started. I'll try to say hello to everyone, but like I said, there's double messages, so I don't know what's going on. We'll fix it one day. And if you are watching on YouTube, I am only reading chats that are coming from Twitch. So if you'd like to chat with me, or if you, well, I'm about to disable the drop game, so you have 30 seconds to head over to Twitch to play the drop game. Yeah, it's not working on YouTube chat, so I am only, if you scroll up in the YouTube chat, there's a link to my Twitch. I'm only looking at Twitch chats, just to prepare YouTube for the coming, the coming days where I only stream on Twitch. Echo, okay. Actually, you don't have 30 seconds. I'm gonna disable the drop game right now. Oh, we'll let easy. They just denied themselves. Too bad. Okay, welcome everyone. We'll fix that one day. But hello, Mustafa and David and Aces and Sean and Nash. So here's the thing. If I check this, yeah, see, it removes both of them. No YouTube because I will be streaming exclusively to Twitch most likely pretty soon. I don't know yet. But I will still be uploading the live streams to YouTube after the Twitch live stream. And hello, Lakshman from India. Welcome. Hello, Dan. I'm doing good. Hello, Shaggy. Hello, Terrazoid. And Om the Turtle. And Reds. And Kevin. And Ollie. And Pixa. And Win32 Day. And Brandon. And Seguintini. And One Line of Me. Hello. Hello. Yeah, it's nice to see you too. Echo. Look, it's Echo. So yeah, I'll talk about this really quick because Twitch, if you are an affiliate on Twitch, they have an exclusivity clause that says, and an affiliate is what you need to get bits and subscriptions and I think even show ads, basically to monetize on Twitch. So to do that, they have an exclusivity clause that says you cannot stream, or content that appears on Twitch cannot appear on any other platform for 24 hours. So what I do right now is I stream to both YouTube and Twitch. And because I am not a Twitch affiliate, but I most likely will enable something like that very soon. So I'm going to be streaming exclusively to Twitch and then uploading YouTube. That's the plan. So I'm getting people used to it. There are still over 100 people watching on YouTube right now. But if you're watching on YouTube, head over to Twitch. I will not see this message, but I did. I did see this message because I came over here. But yeah, that's the deal. Let's acknowledge all these double follows. Thanks, Campan, for the follow, and Lemon, and Psychomoth. And hello to everyone else. I'm sorry if I missed your hello, but we're going to play some Clash of Code. One more drop game. Only because you asked, but just watch what's about to happen, because the moment I enable it, any drop, and here's the other thing. So you'll notice that the images aren't showing up. I'm using an image proxy, and apparently it's being really slow, because, like, Infi's image didn't pop up. Kibi shorts? I don't know what that is. And hello though. And thanks for the follow, Harsh. Object. I only go to YouTube. But yeah, no worries. Can we put that answer in a bot command? Yeah, that's a great idea. One day. I need, I haven't even like updated my bot command at all. Whoa. How are there 2 Daniel Gardens? I mean, 3, 4. Is it like exponential drop game? I don't know. We're going to turn it off and we're actually going to play Clash of Code. Let's get into this. Thanks for the follow, Marco. Much appreciated. It's allowing spam. It shouldn't. Oh well. Okay, so if you're new to this, you can go to codinggame.com. There's only one G, but if you type two G's, it'll redirect. And they have lots of cool coding challenges, and one of them is this thing called Clash of Code, where we can compete to, I mean, it's competitive, but we learn a lot along the way because typically people that participate, you can use any language you want. I typically solve things with JavaScript, but you can use C++, Java, C Sharp, Python, Bash, Lua. They have a whole ton of different languages. So it's always fun to see the different solutions. Yeah, so we're going to start this. And there are three different kinds. There's one who is where you need to be the fastest person to solve it. There's another one where you need to solve it with the least amount of characters, that's shortest mode. And there's also reverse mode, which is where you're given the inputs and the outputs, and you have to guess what code to write based on that. So we're going to get started. If you join the Discord, you will have the first chance to click the link. But I do ask, try to only play one game so that other people have a chance to play. So there is the link on Discord. You can click the link. I'll share the link on YouTube for anybody that's still over there. Actually, no, I won't. If you want the link, you have to come to Twitch or Discord. So there's that. And we will get started. Don't send to Discord first. Have I ever thought about uploading something prepared content to YouTube? Yes. Yes, I have. It's just... Oh, no, we're about to get started. But yes, I absolutely have. And once I move to Twitch, once I stream more on Twitch, I will most likely upload more edited content to YouTube. Because long live streams that weren't actually live stream on YouTube probably won't do very well. Now, this is reverse mode. We are given... an input probably, which is the number of number of numbers that's going to be on the second line. We're given a number of numbers, and then we have to output this. This kind of just looks like them sorted. It looks like the second line sorted. I think that's what we got to do. Oh, that's a good point, Infi. I'll just send it directly to Twitch. Yeah, so I think we just take these numbers. And then we sort them. We don't even need this for loop. We'll take this. I mean, this isn't shortest mode, but I can probably do it shortest mode. I think it's just sorting them. Maybe there's something more than that. I'm live on YouTube. I mean, I'll probably go live every now and then on YouTube. Okay, so we have the numbers as an array. We need to sort them. Sort in JavaScript takes a comparison array with A and B. We then return -1, 0, or 1, depending on where they come in the sort order. But we need these to be numbers, so we're going to use the unary plus operator to parse them into numbers. And then we also need to do that with B. And then we need to join it all together. Oh, no. I put print inside of a console log. No, I just need that. And then we join it all together on a space. Is this what we need to do? Yes, it is. Submit. And I am not the first one, because I've done a lot of talking. And I'll give everyone else a chance to submit. So I solved it with the built-in sort method. It'd be interesting if someone... I mean, you have 15 minutes total. It'd be interesting if you want to implement your own sorting algorithm. You could also not use like the higher order split and join like I did. You could iterate over the string. There's a lot of different ways to solve this one. So before I show people's answers, I'll give you a chance to finish it. My voice is distorted. Is it though? Is it though? I feel okay. If my voice is distorted, press 2 in the chat. If it's not distorted, press 1 in the chat. Okay, I feel like there's a whole subset of trolls on Twitch that just go around to different channels and tell them that their audio is messed up. Now, they may not actually be trolls. I am naturally distorted. They may not actually be trolls. Maybe they just have like a bad speakers, and so they think everyone they watch on Twitch doesn't sound good. But that's okay. Apparently, I sound decent enough. There's probably a little delay. And thanks for the follow, Akiv. I am naturally distorted. I can go with that. Yes, so this is technically I passed in a comparison function, which is used by the underlying sorting algorithm, but I didn't write a sorting algorithm. I just used the built-in JavaScript one. YouTube ignore part two. Um, yeah, and I'll answer this question really quick, because we're waiting for other people to compete or to well, didn't mean to do that. Did I just zoom out on my overlay? View, zoom in. There we go. Let's see. Okay, and be sure whenever you submit, there's a button that says share code. If you click that, we can take a look at what you submitted. But yes, so I have been live streaming to YouTube for 2 years, over 2 years. And aside from the coding train, there weren't really a lot of channels that were doing that, at least like programming oriented channels. There might have been a couple, but the coding train and myself were really the only ones I knew of that were actually streaming to YouTube, in terms of coding and teaching. Are there some others? Mention them in the chat if there are others, but for the most part, that's all I had seen. And I come from a teaching background, so I actually have taught real live students in a classroom before, and so I thought live streaming would be a great platform for that. And I didn't really know that Twitch offered other things besides games. So I did it on YouTube for the longest time, and most of the people that have subscribed to me on YouTube are kind of new to that thing as well, because YouTube is mostly like edited content. It's edited tutorials that are, someone has a lesson plan and they record it and then they edit it and then they upload that. But I like the idea of building things live, of teaching things live, of pretending like this is a big old classroom with hundreds of people in it all at the same time. But that said, if I am no longer streaming directly to YouTube, the YouTube algorithm will not recommend 4-hour videos to random people like it does my live streams. My live streams to YouTube have a lot of people watch them because they watch them while they're live, which results in the algorithm thinking that people actually want to watch long content, and then some people do. But yes, if eventually, if I'm not live streaming to YouTube, I need to upload edited content. So what will probably result is I will stream to Twitch, and then I'll most likely still upload the whole live stream to YouTube just so it's there, but then I'll hire somebody to highlight it and take out just the fun bits, the learning bits, the entertaining parts of the live stream, and upload that to YouTube. As well as, if I ever start to do this full time, actually creating course content where I will come up with a lesson plan. You probably won't see my face. There'll be no drop game. It'll just be an actual tutorial like you're used to. So yes, all of that's coming. Don't know when exactly it's all going to start happening, but just know that that is a thing that might actually happen. And thanks for the follow, Silverbeat, and a Kav, and a you, and Curly. Much appreciated. Are mods allowed to add Streamlabs frequently asked question commands? Maybe. You can try, like, !add command. Is the transition what's causing the problems? I don't think so. I think there's a bug in my live chat backend. I've talked about it before, but it's basically listening on multiple instances, which causes the Twitch listener to fire twice. I'll fix it one day. One day. F. My video is bugged. Come on. Twitch audio is horrible. Is it though? I don't know. And every now and then I have a thing where Twitch streams literally just sound like robots. Oh, okay. So that person may not have been a troll. Their name was anonymous, but they could just be having computer issues. So them. Daniel Schiffman actually absolutely is a legend. He's been doing live stream coding before anybody knew what that even was, and he's the OG. Hello, Katoli. No face, no course. Yeah, I still have a full-time job. I actually I'm launching a product today. I was so busy yesterday. I turned off my phone notifications without realizing it and didn't look at my phone until like 8 p.m. I was like, oh, I wonder why I haven't gotten any notifications. Oh, it's on silent. Oh, I haven't looked at my phone all day. I was really busy yesterday. But I actually learned a ton. I debugged this weird WordPress plugin that was published like 3 years ago but was broken, and then I fixed it. I learned about Apache, whereas I'm usually used to Nginx. I did a lot, but we're officially launching in about an hour. So, hello. Why is my stream only available in 1080p? So that's the thing. Unless you are a partner on Twitch, you don't really have options. Depending on the load of Twitch, they don't really give you options for your viewers to choose the quality. But if you become a partner, then I believe you do get that. I blame TMI. No, it's my code. My code is the problem. I debug a WordPress plugin? Yeah. I mean, I don't know PHP. I commented out one line and fixed the thing. It was a line of PHP, so you can say that I wrote PHP. All right, let's see. Most people have submitted. All right, X18Pi and Kuzana and Rich, don't look at the screen. We're going to look at the previous submission. I mean, you can, but if you don't want it spoiled, don't look at the screen because we're going to look at the previous submission. So, Informath Music, who hangs out in the Coding Train Discord a lot, solved this one in 55 seconds. Let's see what they did. Very similar to what I did. And actually, you're absolutely right. I mean, of course you're right, because you got 100%. But you didn't actually need to parse A and B into numbers, because in JavaScript, when you subtract two things, it will coerce them to numbers automatically. So that's great. So split that line to get all of the numbers. Use the built-in sort algorithm with A minus B, which will sort them in ascending order. And then log them out, join together. Great work. All right, Arulag did it with Python. Let's see. We read in the number of elements. We create an empty array. We split the next read line, which gives us all of the incoming inputs. And then we add that number to the array. And then we have this list comprehension that uses the built-in sorted method in Python with an array of items. And right here, we're parsing them as integers. So sorted, I'm guessing, works by default with integers. In JavaScript, it doesn't. You need a comparison function to sort numbers. But in Python, you don't. You just pass in numbers. You're good to go. And then turn them into a string. And so this becomes an array of strings instead of an array of numbers, but an array of sorted strings, and then we join it all together. Looks good. Zeit changed their theme? Or their name? Really? That's breaking news. Versal. Whoa! Zeit is now Versal. Whoa! Oh man, that's gonna confuse so many people that are watching my old YouTube videos. That's cool though. Good for them. Good for them. And thanks for the follow, Akay and Ubi. Bruh, what's up? Yeah, bro. Brandon broke the news. Site changed their name. Crazy. And thanks for the follow, Weirdo Plays. Does the socket ID change when the client refreshes the page? Yes, it's technically every new connection to your backend with socket IO specifically gets a unique ID. So yeah. What is Zeit? It's a way of deploying. They have serverless deployments. They used to have Docker-based deployments, which was really cool. They're one of the only services I know where you could do basically one command on the command line. It would detect your project type, wrap it up into a Docker container, and then put it on the web. But they moved to a serverless model, but they're still pretty cool. It's like one simple deployments. Hello, Rand. Welcome. Zeit sounds super normal. Versal is confusing. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, great work. I don't know why I have such a problem saying this. Maybe it's because of the mix of vowels and consonants. That's just how words work. Arulagrawal. Thanks for the submission, and great work. Cool to see it done in Python. All right, let's see how Imphy did it in JavaScript. Cool, yeah, and so technically, you didn't need this for loop, but this was the code that was provided for us. So they take that array, parse each thing as an integer to put it, well, actually, no, this for loop isn't used at all. So you could have removed this for loop because you just say inputs.sort, and it's the same way that I solved it too. Yeah, and if you want to look at my code again, split it, sort it. Technically, you didn't need the unary plus because JavaScript will coerce with just the minus sign, and then join them. Arul Agrawal. That's easier to say. I think it's the combination of like so many weird letters I'm not used to seeing, but Arul Agrawal. That's easier to say. All right, Johnny did it in Ruby in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Let's check it out. All right, so gets to I, so that's like a built-in way of reading an input and converting it to an integer. Gets.split, so read in and split it, store it in this variable. map over that split array of numbers with the two integer built-in function and pass in the reference. So we're basically changing an array of strings into an array of integers. There's a built-in sort method that doesn't require a comparison function, and then we join it all together. Look at Ruby go. Ruby is very, very interesting. And thanks for the follow, Aniru. And hello, random people of the internet. The const var mix makes it very confusing. A rule. I can call you a rule. That's easy. It's when the name is combined. It's hard for me to say. Do I know what the in queens problem is? I've heard of it. It's where you have a chessboard with a bunch of queens, and you have to figure out like what's a way to place all the queens on the board where they won't, something like that. I don't know, where they won't be able to kill each other. All right, Fetish Lace did it with JavaScript. Same way. Apparently, all JavaScript programmers code in the same way. You take in the inputs, sort them using the built-in sort function. Great work. Terrazoid also did it with JavaScript. Here we go. He implemented a sorting algorithm. Let's see if we can figure out what sorting algorithm this is, just by reading the code. Okay, so read in the number of elements. We have this initial read line and read in, and then split it and map it. So this one line of code takes the string of space-separated numbers and turns it into an array of numbers. So we're using the unary plus to map it. Everyone says bubble sort. It looks like it, but let's see why. So we have the outer for loop that goes from 0 to the length of the input, and then we have the inner for loop that goes from the next item to the end of the input. So we're comparing each item with every other item. Bubble sort, in the worst case, is an n-squared algorithm. So we do have this nested loop that iterates over both inputs, but for that iteration, we'll say if the current value is greater than the one that we're looking at, we're going to swap it. And then we just do that all the way down for every single number. And so we're basically bubbling up all of the big numbers to the end of the array. Great. Though, one nice optimization with bubble sort is if you detect that you didn't do a single swap in this loop, then your array is technically already sorted. So we could have added that one optimization. But regardless, great work, Terrazoid, who did bubble sort. Yeah, big O of n squared for sure. Horrible complexity. But that's fine. For beginner programmers, it's at least an interesting way to look at sorting algorithms if you've never seen them before. Awesome. So we sort it, and then we join it all together. Why the map? You know, technically, you didn't really need the map, I don't think, because the greater than comparison, well, yeah, technically, we could have converted them to numbers in the comparison right here. That would have skipped one iteration, but it's fine. These were arrays of like 10 elements. It wasn't anything huge, but yeah. Yeah, Bruh says, I'm new to this channel, but what does O to the big O of n squared mean? So this is big O notation. Computer scientists use this to talk about the how the runtime of an algorithm grows as the input grows. I don't know if I can explain big O in like a minute, but just search for big O on YouTube or Google. You'll find a bunch of articles. Actually, if you check out the big O cheat sheet, this is a really cool resource that talks about all of the popular data structures and algorithms and talks about their complexity, and big O is always the worst case. It's not bubble sort? What is it? Terrazoid. Do you know what sort is this? I thought it was bubble sort. It looks like they're bubbling up. But regardless, so big O is a way of classifying the algorithm. So it's based on the size of the input. In our case, the size of the input are the number of numbers that we need to sort. In this case, n. So if we have 5 numbers, that is n, and we called it n. So that's actually it's nice that the variable is called n. And then if we need to loop from 0 up to the number of numbers, or up to n, that is big O of n, meaning that whatever we pass into this function, into this algorithm, it's always going to take in operations to compute. And because n is variable, that's why we talk about it in the general terms. N could be 0, n could be 10, easy. If you have a single for loop, that's big O of n. However, if you have a nested loop, it's potentially n times n. So it's n times. This inner loop also potentially has a complexity of n because it iterates over the whole array. And now you're iterating over the whole array for every element in the array. So it's n times. So in the worst case, this has big O of n squared. This is bubble sort 100%. Okay, it looks like bubble sort. And great work, Terrazoid. Thanks for implementing your own sorting algorithm. Well, not your own, but thanks for implementing one. And okay, Rich did it in JavaScript. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So instead of using an array join at the end down here, so it's time to wake up, but I'm already awake. All right, so read in the input, parse everything as an integer. So now we have an array of integers in inputs. Sort them, and then to join them all back together into a string, we're using a reduce. So built into JavaScript is the array join method, which is pretty useful, but you could do it manually. So this reduce is reducing an array of numbers into a single string. So our accumulator starts at the empty string, and then on each iteration, we take that empty string and concat a space and the number itself. So we're building up that string with spaces in it, and then we slice it to remove that very last space. You could have also used .trim. So .trim is a way of removing all the white space from the edges of a string, and then we have our foo. Why'd you call it foo? You could have called it anything else. All right. And Kuzana, if you press share code, then... oh, the very first... Okay, good call. Thank you. I missed that. This doesn't remove the last space. This removes the first space because we're concatenating with space, then the value. Right. So slice 1 removes the first space. Yeah, and El Muchacho is saying, I'm learning so many different ways of thinking. That's why I like this, just to see the way other people solve a problem. It's really cool to see. And Kuzana, if you click share code, we can see how you solved it. All right, Zine got a 62%, so they didn't get the full points, but let's see what they tried to do. Yeah, and this is the issue. So if you use the built-in sort method, I mean, and also this is weird. Why do you do this, JavaScript? Why you do this? Do I still have my why you do this plugin? No, I don't. But we're gonna go there. Why you do this .now.sh. We're gonna copy this.
Why you do this?
We're gonna put this here. Put JavaScript at the beginning.
Why you do this?
Why you do this? And not you specifically, but JavaScript itself. So in JavaScript, when you use the built-in sort array on arrays, it uses the Unicode values of the items that you're sorting instead of their numerical value. So what happened here is we split it, we turned it into an array of integers, which is great. And you would expect that if you were just using the built-in sort on an array of integers, it would work, but sadly it doesn't. What it actually does is use their Unicode values. So I'll show you really quick. If we sort an array that has, okay, let's say we have an array and we have the values 1, 100, 111, 20, 22, and 200. When we sort this, it sorts it by Unicode value. So if we just call the built-in sort, it actually almost stays in that same sorted order because it kind of treats them like strings, almost like strings in alphabetical order. And this is my break timer. Let's take a quick stretch. Envy is asking, what does the plus do? The plus is a unary plus operator. So this technically converts a string into a number. You can check out bitwise operators. Not bitwise operators. We'll search for unary plus. Yeah, and that's why everyone else that used the sort method, we had to pass in our own comparison function. And I'll pull up the MDN docs on sort really quick so you can see that. Unary operators. A unary operation is an operation with only one operand. Type of, delete, void, instance of. Oh, there's already plus read line? Oh, well, you have to read the line twice. So for this particular problem, the first input was the length of the second string, or the number of numbers, and the second input that you read in are the numbers themselves, which is this parses the length, and then this just brings in a string. So the unary plus basically converts a string with an X amount of letters into a string. No, the way I look at it is just a shortcut of doing this. So if you use the number constructor and pass in 42, it's going to give you back a number. If you put the plus sign in front of the string 42, it's going to give you back a number. And I believe it works with floating points too. Like, yeah. So The unary plus is just a way of converting a string to a number. I don't know if Doc has mentioned it. I believe, or somebody, I think Doc has said it before, something about the way integers are represented in memory, and the unary plus takes care of that. Yeah. Why use number instead of parse int? Number will parse floating point values. So JavaScript is weird. I say that a lot, but in JavaScript, every number is a floating point number. But you technically can have a number with no decimal place. But if I use parse int with 42.99999, it'll drop the decimal. So that's the difference. Hello, Jake. Welcome. Stan says, the comparison function is important because it's generic. Depending on your comparison function, you can even sort documents or anything in the world. Absolutely, and it's a pretty cool concept. I couldn't find the unary plus, but it's on there somewhere. But if we look at the sort method on MDN, we can see the comparison function that it actually wants. So you can see array.sort, and by default, it's just doing an alphabetical sort because it's using the Unicode values, or the ASCII values of each letter. But if we want to sort an array of numbers, look what it does. It puts that there. Hello, Q Saints, and Jack Skelly. Yeah, and then backtracking, there's also parse float. So parse float will keep all of the decimal places. 41.9999. Yeah. Parse int, parse float. Cool. But if you look at the sort method on arrays, it takes in this comparison function. And this is what it does. So everyone that submitted just did A minus B, but under the hood, this is what it means. So if A is less than B by some ordering criterion, return -1. If A is greater than B by some ordering criterion, return 1. Otherwise, return 0. So basically, if A comes before B in the sort order, and if you're going from least to greatest, so if A is less than B, return -1. If A comes after B in the sort order, return 1, and if they're the same, return 0. So when you return the subtraction of A minus B, or the difference, subtraction, is that a word? When you return the difference of A and B, we either get -1, or we get a negative number, a positive number, or 0. So that's why you can just do this, because it doesn't matter if it's -1, it just needs to be a negative number overall. But yeah, and like someone just mentioned, it doesn't have to be numbers. You can use anything you want. Like typically, you can sort an array of objects, but your comparison function might look at one specific property on that object. I did this just yesterday. I had an array of objects coming from my database. Each object had an order property because the users on the front end were allowed to reorder things. But in the database, they're just stored, but they keep that order number. And on the front end, we read in that order number and sort in the UI, but it's an object. It's not a number. Object. Hey, Shaggy. And thanks for the follow, DeBurcher. Why is Ajax too slow in WordPress? I don't know. It might have to do with your server, the server that it's trying to contact. Any Ajax questions? We're talking about code. And thanks for the follow, bruh, and Phosphate. Okay, this has become my favorite channel now. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out. Yes, but Zion, this is not your fault. This is JavaScript's fault that this wasn't able to sort by default. Cool. All right, T-Gale, let's see. They might have tried the same thing. Yeah, so they didn't pass in the comparison function. Though they did, you can technically, number is it's a function that can take in a string, but it's also the number constructor. But technically, they mapped every single string into the number constructor to get back a number. Tried to use the built-in sort, and it didn't work. Yeah. All right, let's do another one. Oh, the URL for why you do this is why you do this. And this is DevEd.
Why you do this?
If you haven't heard of him, he's a YouTuber. And he posted that, yeah, hey, that's Ed, yeah. He posted a green screen video of him doing that, because it's a bit of a meat. I'll link his YouTube channel really quick. He has a lot of good videos. DevEd. Check him out. Yeah, so there's that. All right, let's play another Clash of Code. As long as now.sh stays now.sh. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to have to rename all of my domains. I have so many services that are using the now.sh domain name. So yeah, or sorry, now.sh. All right, so I'm going to send this link on Twitch, but I ask, if you participated in the last clash, do not click this link. Don't click it. let some other people click it. Nice. This is mostly new people. I don't think I see anybody, but I do see Kobe. Is Kobe streaming right now? He is. Saints plays things. So if you want to go watch Kobe solve this one while I solve this one, and this is shortest mode, so we have time. So for this one, you have 15 minutes to solve the problem and write it in the least number of characters. But if you want to go watch Kobe, check him out there. He's one of the mods here on the Coding Garden, and he's a mod on the Coding Train. But all right, let's see what the problem is. You have to output the multiples of a given number between the two boundaries. Okay. So we get the factor, which is the one that you want to calculate the multiples of. We have bound 1, which is the first boundary, and bound 2, which is the second boundary. The multiples have to be sorted from smallest to biggest. Okay, so we're given 3, and we have to write all factors of 3 from 0 to 30. Really, we're just counting up by that number. That sounds easy enough. Hello, Sid. Welcome, and thanks for the follow, Exile. Joke's on you. I clicked the link, but didn't join. That's totally fine. And thank you to everyone that didn't join again, and you're giving other people a chance to participate. Okay, so this seems very, very, very doable. We're given a number, a bounds, and we basically have to calculate all of the factors between those bounds. And thanks for the follow, Castle. I switched from YouTube to Twitch. It feels weird. Let's see. Yeah, and I only have about 20 minutes and then I have to go. So this will probably be the last clash. Maybe we'll do one more if I finish it fast. Okay, so really, I'm going to write it out in long form, and then I'm going to try to make it smaller. And for those of you that are participating, you can see in the bottom right what your code size is. So right now I have it as 233. You absolutely want to remove everything that you can. So even comments count as code size. So remove comments as well. And you have 13 minutes left to get it down to the smallest possible. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we can just have a for loop. I mean, really, really, I think the tricky bit is, I think if bound 1 doesn't start as a multiple of the factor, we have to find the next multiple of the factor after that bound. So, what I think we should do is we should just go from 0 all the way up to, I mean, there's probably a better way to do this, but what I'm thinking is we can calculate all factors from 0 up to bound 2, and then only print the ones that are from bound 1 and above. Cheeky. So, I'm gonna try to write it a little bit smaller to begin with. So what I'm gonna do is I need to create an array. Oh no, I need a loop. We're gonna do a for loop. Yeah, we'll do a for loop. So I equals 0, while I is less than bound 2. I plus equals 3. Yes, that's even easier. Wow, okay. I shouldn't be taking tips from the chat, but Shaggy has it, like, we can increment I by the factor. That's the way to go. So I is less than bound 2. And then every time in a for loop, if you're new to for loops, this will be fun to you. So instead of doing I plus plus or I plus equals 1, we can just do I plus equals factor. I plus equals factor. So we're incrementing I by the factor every time. I'm cheating by looking at chat. I am. And good morning, I'm Keenan, or Ken. Welcome, welcome. Okay. And this is shortest mode, so that's why I'm like not adding spaces and stuff. I'm gonna make it even smaller once we solve it. And we'll say if I is less than, actually, let's create an array of all of the numbers we need to print. So like results. And then if I is greater than or equal to bound 1, then we're going to say results.push I. Done. And then we need to print results, but we need to join them all together on the empty string, like that. Oh no! Not less than or equal to. We want it to be within the bounds. So I'm going to do bound -1. Really? Isn't bound2 included in the printout? So inferior or equals? Expected. I see. So I do want it included. It's inclusive bounds, less than or equals. There we go. That got it. All right, so this does it. And there's probably a better way of finding the first common factor that's above bound1. Oh, negative. Ooh, we have to handle negative. The process has timed out. So technically, we want to do, we either want to start at 0 or the negative value if bound1 is negative. Yeah. So I can do like math.min of 0 and bound1. Let's try negative. Oh, not bound1. Bound1. The process has timed out. Okay, so maybe this isn't a good plan. To do let's see, in just a second. Gotta look at something. Are those sentinel values? Actually, I mean, I could just increase. I could just detect if it's divisible by the number, right? Any number divisible by it is okay. I'm taking another approach. We're actually just going to increment from bound1 up to bound2, and we're going to increase by 1, and we're going to say if factor mod I is equal to 0, then push I. So does that work in this case? No. Found nothing. I mod the factor. There we go. If it's divisible by 3. Yeah. Okay, so this works. This is a little less weird. All right, so it doesn't work in reverse. Why doesn't it work in reverse? Oh. Good afternoon, Garian? So if they give us the bounds in reverse, it doesn't work. So what we could do is just, we have to figure out what's the lower one and what's the higher one. So we could do like math.min of bound1 and bound2. Yeah. And then math.max of bound1 and bound2. Let's take a quick stretch. So I think reverse means that they give us the upper bound first and then the lower bound second instead of the other way around. Developing is basically trying every possibility until the code works. Not quite. I mean, there is some rhyme to my reason. And David is trying to watch 2 streams at the same time. Bound2 and bound1. And does that work? Yeah, that works. This makes our code a lot longer, though. Okay, let's make it as small as possible. So right now it's 262. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to rename all of the factors to just be f. And then also, I don't believe... Yeah, we don't need parse int. And we're going to put readline into a function called r. So we can reuse it, and it's going to be less characters. So this is going to be r. And then we'll call this a. And this is going to be r. And we'll call this b. And this is going to be r. And then we have v. And that's going to be an array. And then we have our for loop that finds the min of a and b. And then the max of a and b. And then we can just do plus plus. That's one less character. And then if I mod f is equal to 0. So if I mod f is 0, that's falsy. So technically we could take the not of that result to get us a falsy value. And then we have our values, which we're going to push, and then our values, which we're going to push. Does it work? First try. Look at that ugly code. So my code is currently 122. Let's see. Amr has done it in 113 characters in Python. Yeah, so let's try a ternary. See if we can make that a little bit smaller. Actually, so if I get rid of the spaces on the for loop, that's definitely going to reduce the size as well. But a ternary might be fewer characters. You just have like an empty expression. Oh, actually, no, I could just do that. I don't even need a ternary. Yeah, 115. And then I can remove the spaces here. That's 113. I've essentially tied with Python. Mind blown. Yeah, so instead of a ternary, because I don't have two conditions, basically this says, if this results in true, then push it into the array. Otherwise, it's going to just skip the thing on the right-hand side. Okay. Can we do it smaller? Ferdy has done it in 700 and oh yeah, thank you, Yatko. We can reassign math as well because we're reusing it. So let's see how many characters. So right now we're at 113. If I say m equals math and then we use that instead, that will give us 114. That's one extra character. Unfortunately. Is there an easier way to keep track of what's the higher and the lower one? Let's see. So if A is less than B, then we want AB. This is too many characters. Oh, it is a one-liner. I can remove the... You know, I'm getting way too much help from the chat. But yes, because it's all on one line, I can remove the curly braces and it should still work. Destructure line 2 through 4. So unfortunately, we have to... Actually, that could work if we call it in an array. So I could have like FAB equals an array of R, and R. The tricky bit is I actually do need to invoke the read line multiple times. Yeah, and when I do this, technically I have to put an identifier in front of it for some reason. I don't think you usually have to do that, but this is a lot more characters. 118. We're gonna go back. So we're at 111. I think I'm good with that because I do have to go. So we're better than everyone else so far, but everyone else has 2 minutes to get under 111 characters. So here we go. And be sure to click share your code. Python is just print v.join. Upgrade. F go back. Wait, what? A for loop without braces does look unusual, yeah. Join without brackets. Oh, I could have, yeah, I could have missed like removed 2 characters, huh, Doc? Yeah, that's another weird trick, is because the backtick template literals were introduced into ES 2015, you can technically do a tagged template literal. So if you do like well, we have an array of 1, 2, and 3. And we say join. If I want to join them on the space, great. But I can use a tagged template literal like that, and it works as well. And the reason being is like template literals can take in a tagged function, and then it will be invoked with that function. So yeah, this would have saved me 2 characters. Oh, thank you, 3. I missed your comment. I'm sorry, Andrew. It's been a while since you've hung out here. Instead of not expression and something, use expression or something. That would have saved it too. Yeah. Look at you all. You all are much smarter collectively than me alone. And abusing the fact that some string and then array toString equals the array itself. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how Amr did it. So in Python, yeah, this is nice. This is basically a way of writing your, I mean, technically, we could have created 3 variables on one line without destructuring. That might have been less characters, but technically this actually returns like a tuple or three values, I believe. So read in all 3 values, and then they do the comparison, the min or max comparison right here, all on one line. If A is greater than B, then we want AB. Otherwise, we want BA. Or like if A is greater than B, A comma B equals B. Otherwise, A. This is weird, and it's breaking my brain. I don't really know what's happening here. Despite the name, a tuple can have in values. Yes. A smaller version of a swap. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, like we could have tried to swap using array destructuring in JavaScript, but for some reason, like the syntax wasn't working or whatever. Okay, so we find the smaller or the greater one. Great. Now after that, we have a... this thing, you typically got to read from like right to left sometimes in Python. So if I mod f is equal to 0, meaning it is a factor, wait, no. We'll read it here. So I in range a to b plus 1. So we're creating a range from the min to the max, and for each item, if I is divisible by the factor, then it gets put into that array, and we join it all together. Cool. Python's crazy. Yeah, so this is how we would have done it in JavaScript. All code is what? Is reversed. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Thanks. I like my beanie too. And what's up, Greg? Welcome. Have you watched on Twitch before? I've always seen you on YouTube. Yeah, if A is greater than B, swap. I used my chat to cheat, and it failed. Well, it looks like DT6 and Jan both beat me, so the clash is complete. Let's look at their code. So DT6 did it in Python. Yeah, so we could have done the swap like that, but we also needed to write the code to determine if we needed to even swap. So yeah, okay. Can I make a I don't get to choose. It's either fastest, reverse, or shortest. Okay, so read in all 3. Interesting. So you create your own lambda function that's equal to reading in input and parsing it to an integer. That's pretty cool. So we have all 3. And then we have a range from the range itself. So we're actually using min and max built into Python. So find the min, find the max, create that range for every value. If I is a factor, that will be in the result, and then we join that all together. Great work, DT6. All right, let's see. Jan did it in 108 characters. And did they use... Yeah, so Jan used the OR trick. And actually, what I've found is that when I'm doing these shortest code challenges, a new line is the same number of characters as a semicolon. So when I'm doing these shortest challenges to like keep them like readable, I actually do them without semicolons and instead of putting them all on one line. When I was initially doing this, that's what I was doing, like putting it all on one line. But okay, read it in, read everything in. We have our result. Very similar for loop to what I have. Go from min to max. Increment if it's a divisor. So this was another shorthand because what I had was, and these are like rules of Boolean comparisons. So what I have was not value and the thing. But I could have wrote was a value or the thing. And then print it all together. And they use that template literal trick. So it pays to wait and be the last one to submit. A is less than y, x, otherwise y is less characters than math.min. Okay, we could have done better. And hello, Arjo. And great work, Jan. Great work. Yeah, and thanks for the follow, SDSAGSHSD. All right, Ahmed, Kobe, me like, be sure to share your code. All right, Wolfie did it. They only got a 16% though, so let's see what went wrong. Do one more game. We'll do one. But if I can't solve it in 2 minutes, then I'm gonna abandon it because I do have to go. All right, so read in all 3 values. We have a range that goes from start to end. Cool. They wrote it like a little utility function to create a range of values from the start to the end. So the length is going to be start minus end. Fill it with undefined, and then for every value, put the index plus the start. What is start though? The beginning of the range. Okay. And then for every value in the range, oh no. So we want the range. Yeah. I think the tricky bit here was you didn't detect if which one, A or B, was greater or smaller. This here is a way to round a value. Yeah, this is like math.floor. That's another one of those bitwise operators, I think. Okay, so we create the range, and then for each one, multiply it by the factor, and then join it all together. I think the tricky part here was technically the starting might not have actually been a factor, so we had to account for that. So I think that's where we went wrong there. Hello, K-Pa, who is also Karn. It helps to stick around to save a character too, yeah. Let's see. So if we did array math.absolute value of 2, map it, find the, I don't know what's going on there. This menu bar up at the top is called iStat menus. This thing. I have version 5. When they upgrade their version, you have to pay for the latest version, so I stuck with the old one. Hello, Pranjal. I'm doing pretty good. All right. I mean, I gotta go. I really have to go. I don't have time. Yeah, so I have to go. But this was super fun, and we'll probably do another one of these either on Thursday or Friday. So let's see who's streaming. And if you're watching on YouTube, which is interesting if you are, but if you are, then head over to twitch.tv/codinggarden, and you can join us in this raid. I'm gonna see who's on the Live Coders team, but David and Kobe are streaming. Let's see. The thing is, I'm on a team now, and I gotta remain loyal to my team members. See, Mr. Demon Wolf. We've raided him before. All right, I think we're gonna raid Kobe because it's fun. So Kobe is a mod here on the Coding Garden. He's also a mod. He's watching me. He's seeing. Look, he's gonna see that I'm gonna raid him. What are you doing, Kobe? I don't think I'm gonna raid you just because you're seeing if I'm gonna raid you. CJ recursion. Okay. We'll see. All right. I'll decide. I'm gonna actually hide my screen and then I'll decide who we're actually gonna raid. But again, if you're watching on YouTube, head over to twitch.tv/codinggarden. Thank you, everyone, for participating. That was super fun. And like I said, we're going to do another one either on Thursday or Friday. And I actually want to build a Twitch bot where you can join a queue. And that way it'll be a little bit more fair in terms of who actually gets the link to the clash. So you can join a queue and then we can play through that queue of who has joined the queue. But that's the plan. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.